Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Habs Daily News with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 385. What a minute, coach. First of all, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens news. And today, at the beginning of the September 2023, I'm doing my projection of line for the Montreal Canadiens for upcoming season. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey National Show, and leave us a comments about this episode. And let's dive in talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject of the day is about the Montreal Canadiens news, and my first player we want to talk about is Christian Dvorak. The rumor is now it's possible Dvorak is going to be ready for the beginning of the season. He had to meet his doctor at the middle of the September to hear a little bit more about his condition. But don't be surprised if Christian Dvorak starts the beginning of the season with the Montreal Canadiens. This could be a big impact for a player like RHP Ilonen or any other rookie try to get a spot for the upcoming season if Dvorak is ready to start the season. My second player we want to talk about on the Habs news is Casey Desmith. If ever Casey Desmith stay with the Montreal Canadiens for the beginning of the season, won't be surprised they use the role of the Shane Wright from last season. What are you talking about? Remember, Shane Wright, it was healthy scratch for 5 straight games. That gave the Seattle Kraken to send Wright for condition and American Hockey League. If ever cannot trade Casey Desmith at the beginning of the season, he does not want to lose any goaltender on the waiver, could keep 3 goaltender, put Casey Desmith healthy scratch for the first 5 games, and then send him in American Hockey League with the Laval Rocket for 2 weeks as a lone players. What's the reason behind that? That would give an extra 4 weeks to Ken Hughes possible to trade Casey Desmith at the beginning of the season. It's not easy right now. Most of the team have already their 2 goaltenders for the upcoming season, but if ever team have an injury for a specific goaltender, they could call the Montreal Canadiens to get Casey Desmith. My next players we want to talk about is Philippe Mesar. And the reason I want to talk about Philippe Mesar is because some people are a little bit concerned about what he's going to play for the upcoming season. Of course, if he does not make the Montreal Canadiens roster, the 2 other destinations I see for him is American Hockey League for the Laval Rocket or a return of his team Kitchener Rangers and OHL. But why not to stay with American Hockey League with Laval Rocket? The roster is full over there. They have a lot of forward, and he has to battle to keep a spot with the Laval Rocket. For me, I don't see any problem for him to return in OHL, have a great year, and give him confidence and ready for next season in 2024-2025 to battle for the spot with the Montreal Canadiens or start his first year professional in North America with the Laval Rocket. My next player on the Habs news is Caufield. Some people mentioned in the article said, don't be surprised if Caufield score 50 to 60 goals. Ooh, wow, some people are really optimistic about Caufield. But one thing I look a little bit more deeper, remember, Caufield scored 26 goals and 46 games last year without Mike Madison. At that moment, when Caufield got hurt around the All-Star game, Montreal Canadiens, all the defensemen together, was 31 in the rank with the number of the goal from the defenseman. When Mike Madison came back and after the All-Star game, Montreal Canadiens as a group of defensemen was top 5 for the number of the goal, and the team jumped from 31 to 15 with 97 goals in the last part of the season with the Montreal Canadiens without Caufield. So what's the point, coach? But if Caufield can get benefit of the puck transition, a puck carry-on, or like Mike Madison, this is an advantage for Caufield to produce more goals with the Montreal Canadiens. Don't be surprised he get 45, 50, 55, or 60 goals for the upcoming season. If not, the next couple of years, I'm pretty sure when the team is going to have better defensemen with the puck movement, I think Caufield, he will be a player can score over 50 goals with the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, my last player we want to talk about today is Brendan Gallagher. Yes, what's going on with Brendan, coach? From Bob Arkley, ex-NHL coach with the Colorado Avalanche. He said it would be benefit for the Montreal Canadiens if Brendan Gallagher play on the second line out with Kirby Doc and New Hook. I'm not sure about it's a great suggestion. I feel more for Gallagher to be on the third line or fourth line for the Montreal Canadiens and possible on the power play number 2 with the Habs for the upcoming season. This concludes, guys, all the news we got for you today on this episode. But I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment possible about Dvorak, Desmith, Mesar, Caufield, 50 goals, and Brendan Gallagher, second line. Oh my God. And let's move on for my second subject of the day. My second subject of the day is about the projection line for the upcoming season. First line, I have Cole Caufield with Nick Suzuki and Josh Anderson, following by Alex Newhook, Kirby Doc, and Sean Monahan. Third line, I have Dvorak, Sapkowski, and Gallagher. Dvorak is supposed to start the season. And finally, on my fourth line, I have Jesse Alonen, Jake Evan, and Joel Armia. My 13 players out for the Montreal Canadiens is Pesera. I return RHP with the Laval Rocket. Why? He's a waiver exam. And that's the reason I sent him over there compared to Jesse Alonen. If Dvorak is not ready, now RHP is going to start the season with the Montreal Canadiens. Now we can make some comments, maybe play on front line. But that's what I feel if ever Dvorak start the season with the Montreal Canadiens. What about the defenseman, coach? My first pairing is Kaden Cooley with David Savard, following by Mike Madison and Gustav Langstrom. And finally, I have Jordan Harris with Jonathan Kovacevic, who is out at the beginning of the first game. Albert Jacki and return in AHL, Justin Barron, waiver exam. Finally, Chris Whiteman is going to send to Laval Rocket, but he had to go through the waiver. But why Jacki out? Listen, guy, it could have some kind of change from today until the beginning of the season. But I feel like the pairing, Cooley, Savard last year, have a great year. Kovacevic played very well with Harris. Harris was very good. And I feel like because Jacki is a left defenseman, a recovery for the right shoulder injury, I wouldn't be surprised start the season as a healthy scratch. Again, this is only my projection line for the Montreal Canadiens, and the goaltender for the upcoming season is going to be Jake Allen and Samuel Montembeault. So always going to be out, possible RHP, Barron, and it could be Jacki or Whiteman. Finally, Desmith does not count for me. I think he's going to be traded before the beginning of the season. Are you a little bit upset because RHP and Jacki could be with Laval Rocket just for the beginning of the season to fix their roster without losing any players on the waiver? And that's conclude all the subject we have on this episode. Thanks for watching another Habs Daily News with the hockey coach Guru Coach Frenchy. But before we leave, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And of course, we want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.